Hey, everybody, we are the PullBoxPals, and we are so glad to see you. To start off, we just want to say thank you to the IWEP Network for hosting us. And to my, my left here is my buddy Monk.
Hey, everybody. How we
How you
doing
doing?
out there? And you're my buddy. You're my pal.
We're the pals.
You're my
Hey,
pal, Mark. How you doing, Mark?
I'm your pal, buddy.
Hey, buddy, pal, buddy.
I'm your friend,
Uh,
guy.
it's 72 right now out in Oregon where you are,
Yeah,
and it's
and it's
84 where
84.
I am.
That's
That's
1 degree.
ridiculous.
That's honestly 1 degree hotter than I like.
Oh,
No
really?
joke. Yeah,
You
I
like
just
82?
It's just one of those things where I feel like I know my body well enough that like no 83 is like my hot temperature. It's like if I want a hot day, 83 is like great, like low 80s. We'll say low 80s, but 83 is just but like I don't know, I
I
feel
love
like
it.
whenever it's 84 and just I grew up in a drier climate, so it just felt hotter at a certain point to me,
Mm.
and it always just seemed to be 84 plus just felt like too hot to be outside.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like it's too hot to be outside. I had to run
Yeah.
outside in my car before we started, and I'm like, actually, you know what? It was kind of fine. Um, but what do I know? Uh,
What does
so
anybody know,
what
honestly?
does anybody know? Heat, am I right? How does the sun work? Um, but yeah, I'm very excited to be back talking comics, and yeah, again, just thanks to the IWEP network for letting us do this, and
Yeah.
they're always so supportive. And we don't ever really talk about this, but we have a website based off of the IWEP website. You can go there and check
Mhm.
out like all about what the show's about
Oh
and
yeah.
see our like past videos. There's links to everything there. So yeah, go check all that stuff out.
I didn't even know we had that. That's
Yeah,
cool.
so there
Yeah.
you go. You can go check
Wow.
that out.
Well, man, you want to get into it? You want to get into some comics?
I do. Let me just take a sip of some Arizona green tea, and
Oh
then
yeah.
we will get into it. So you and I both have uh, a cr- a big pull week, which seems
We
to be
did.
pretty common for us.
Yeah,
Um,
it's typically at the same time.
oh
Yeah.
man, yeah. So if we have some of the same comics, we're just gonna talk about them at the same time. I don't know
Yeah.
if you got this one. I didn't see it. Well, so we didn't post our video yet, but I didn't
Yeah,
see this
busy day.
in. It's been a busy day.
Been a
I didn't
busy
see
day.
this in your video that you sent me, but the first video or the first comic that I want to talk about is Mindset number
Ooh.
1
Who put
from
that out?
Vault,
Ooh.
and it is
Ooh.
by Zach Kaplan, who is the writer, and John Pearson is the artist, and the letter is Hassan Atman Alu. Now I know for a fact that I know the writer because he did a comic that is behind me up here called Join the Future. I have 2 Join the Future comics right here, and
Okay.
I love it. They were one of the first kind of comics that I read like a full arc when I started reading comics, and it's by Aftershock. And
Okay.
I really enjoyed it because it was a like a cowboy futuristic uh kind of dystopian story. So
Oh,
yeah, it's a great story.
I'm
um
glad you got this, man.
yeah, it's look at the art real quick just to show you. It's great, and like look at those the bubbles, the speech bubbles. I'm super into those. I think the art
Yeah,
looks really good.
that's awesome.
Like, and like I said,
And you got the variant cover there.
I did, yeah. um
You love the variants, the indie variants.
I do, because I'm like,
Yeah.
these are indie and they're variants. But yeah, it's just really good art. And I feel like I would also know the artist. It looks familiar. I want to say, hold on, I'm gonna take a look around. Oh, I don't have that comic up anymore. But I feel like this might be the same person that did that comic, Knock 'em Dead. But the art
You're
just
saying the
looks,
artist?
yeah, the artist
Um,
looks super familiar to me. Um, Maybe you can look that up while
yeah.
uh but I'm going to jump over to actually, is this Vault? No, this is Source.
Ooh.
Oh, I lost my
Oh
camera.
no.
Oh no, hold on a second.
I
I'll be
can hear
back.
you.
Yeah.
He's
Good.
still here, everybody. Don't you worry. Tim will be right back.
There we
I mean,
go. I'm back.
Monk will be right back. We gotta
Monk's
stop.
back.
We gotta stop revealing your secret identity.
I know. It's okay. But the next
Was it
comic that
Beast Wagon?
excuse me?
I'm looking at I'm
Oh.
looking on League of Comic Geeks, and there's so this artist, was it Pearson,
Yeah,
John Pearson?
I believe
So
so.
Batman Urban Legends,
No.
Beast Wagon, the Department
No.
of Truth, and then
No.
Mindset, and then Paradiso.
Okay. No, I don't know. So no, I guess I don't know it. It looks similar to some stuff I've seen, but I really like it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I'm
So
gonna-
I'm super excited to dive into that. I was gonna do it before this podcast, but I was looking through it. That was the first time I got a chance to look through it, and I was like, man, I really love this art. I feel like this is gonna be a really good story. So I didn't kind of want to rush it. I just wanted to sit with it and like just enjoy it, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, so the next comic is just another issue of Good Boy. This is issue number 2 from the second volume. I actually haven't even started reading it. I wanted to read this from the beginning. I think I'm probably just gonna wait until this arc rolls out to the end before
That's
I.
is that the source point?
Yep. But yeah, I think I'm like I said, I'm just gonna roll that out, wait and just keep collecting it to the end because I would assume the first arc was only 3 comics, so I assume that this one's gonna be 3 as well.
Yeah.
So just get one more and then just read the 6 of them together. That's like one long arc for some people. So
That's true.
that's my plan. Now I'm going to go into Image Comics. The rest of the comics, or no, actually, I lied. I'm going to do one more comic before we get to Image Comics. I'm going to do one from Aftershock. And this is the Naughty List.
The Naughty List.
Yep, number 3. This is like one of the comic book shop that I go to. This is like one of his favorite on comics that's going on right now. And I mean, it's not ongoing, it's a limited series, but yeah, he's stoked on it. I really enjoy it. I was just kind of paging through it just now, and there's some looks like there's some spooky stuff happening. So yeah, I'm excited to get to that.
I'm a big fan of spooky lately.
Yeah, it's been it's
my dear mother. My dear mother, she made a comment to me about like some of those comics you get. They look, a little scary.
Oh no!
And I was like, yeah, Mom, they are, but like they're fun.
They're fun. Sometimes they jump off the page, but that's okay. You just close the book real quick and you just run out of the room.
Yeah, right. That happens to me all the time.
So now I'm going to jump over to Image Comics. I don't think you got this one. The rest of the comics, I'm pretty sure you did. So we'll talk about those together.
We'll see.
But this is Sins of Black Flamingo, number 1.
Oh yeah, did that just come out?
Yeah, this is new this week. So it's
I looked at that one, but I didn't get it.
It sucked me in with the cover. I'm also like,
it's a great cover.
One of my favorite games growing up was Vice City. So anything that kind of like is similar, and like I love Scarface. So a lot of that like Miami culture, I enjoy.
You also
weirdly.
I mean, this might not. It's kind of related, but like you also read the Godfather books, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah,
that.
I mean, I love the Godfather books, but that's I love that entire. I've read every book by Mario Puzo, and that's one of my claims to fame. But yeah, I'm very excited.
That's a great claim to fame.
I don't know what this is about at all. I would assume it's about some kind of flamboyant. I was just paging through and I just saw some of the KKK hoods and stuff. So I'm sure this is just going to be a wild ride. If I had to imagine,
yeah.
If I was a better podcaster, I would have had the.
Who put that out?
Image. And I don't even know if I said it. It was by Andrew Wheeler, Travis Moore, Tamara Bonvilla, and Attica Benarke or something like that. But yeah, I'm all of those comics I'm really looking forward to. The next ones I'm really looking forward to. It was such like I was saying to you off mic, I had to put some comics back on the shelf, and one of them was Domain. It was
Public
like
domain?
Public Domain. Did you get that one?
No.
No, it's by Chip Zdarsky, who, if you're a fan of the show, you know that I'm a fan of him. But the art just kind of was just very bland, and the last thing that I read of him was Newburn, which I'm behind on. So there's a part of me that's just kind of like, man, I don't really want to dive into something of his until I'm like pretty confident on it. And like I said, the art wasn't really selling me on it.
Yeah.
But what are you gonna do? Maybe it'll be great. So, I'm trying to figure. Let's just talk about this one. I mean, not that there's really much to say, but it's just where's the farthest place from here?
Yeah.
Number 7.
Let me get mine out of here.
Yeah, this came out really quick. I feel like there was a big gap in between number 5 and number 6, and then there was like
6 just came out.
Yeah, like there was like
so
we got the same cover. Yeah, it's weird that I don't know. I just felt like that was a weird turnover, but boy,
it was. Yeah,
I can not get over how thick these bad boys are, and the fact that it's still only $3.99. Like that's great.
Yeah, no, it's this has been a great series. I remember not necessarily liking how issue 6 was. I might have to read it again. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I was also like, I think they're gonna start releasing the vinyls with the comics.
Okay, they haven't done that yet.
I think they're gonna it's like maybe a re-release, but I was looking, I was forecasting the other night, and
nice.
I saw one on there. I think it was issue 4. So I got to go back and figure out when like all those are happening and see if I can fit that in the old comic book budget.
Yeah. Oh, that would be good luck with that. But I do think that I want to go back and reread like the first arc before I read this, because I just there's so much happening, and I would like to be able to like remember it by the time I go into this, especially if it's a quote unquote new arc. But it really just feels like, unless there's going to be a time jump, I can't say, but it feels like it's pretty much just going to be the same.
Yeah.
Same story,
That's what I use reviews for. There's some people out there that'll do some pretty good reviews that like kind of, break down the story, but then, also you get their opinion on it and stuff. So there's some good articles out there. I need to start following some of those guys.
Yeah. I think that might be a good way to do it, because there's just so much. Or maybe like even it would be great if someone like did a Wikipedia page for it and like had all the synopsis like that. But
yeah, I think honestly that's something I think League of Comic Geeks aims to do.
Okay.
But at the same time, it's like, like a Wikipedia for Star Wars, or like, Marvel fandom, like, or just the fandom app in general. Like, I know that you can find some comics on there, but people don't get as detailed into comics as they do with they do with like Star Wars comics. You can read some great detail about the comics in there. But anyway, it would be, we all need to do better, comic book community.
Well, everybody's trying, I'm sure.
We're all doing our best.
So I guess we should say real quick that so actually on the cover here, I just noticed it says Hickson with Ross and Boss and Rosenberg. I wonder if there's a new person working on this. So it's Josh Hickson with Tyler Boss and Matthew Rosenberg storytelling. Hassan Oslin Aluto lettering, Tyler Boss. So interesting. So that means it looks like somebody has joined the storytelling team.
They brought somebody out. So it's Hickson. It's Hickson, and Hickson here. He's got something from Vault Comics, which I wanted to say when you mentioned the comic you got from Vault. Which one was that again? Mindset.
Yeah, Mindset.
So whenever I hear like a good title for a Vault comic,
Mm-hmm.
it's like in the original Lion King when like the hyenas hear the name Mufasa. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
they do that.
yeah. It just
Wow.
kind of Vault gives me the chills with some of their stuff. And so, anyways, he has a Vault comic called The Plot.
The plot.
Ugh, yeah, The Plot.
Ugh. I feel like I'd heard that before, but it's I wouldn't know it.
I own something of his. What is it?
Is it so you're looking off of your League of Geeks at the moment?
I am. Yeah, you can keep talking. I'll figure out what I have from this guy.
Okay. Um yeah, and then so we can just jump onto my last comic then, which would be 8 Billion Genies issue number 2, which I know you got as
Yeah,
well,
I
correct?
did. I did get that. Yeah.
Nice. Do
Um,
you get the normal cover? Because I know
I
I
b-
just got
I believe I did. Yes.
yeah.
And I do have cover one right back here as well.
Yeah, I was looking at that when we were talking earlier, and I know I asked you if that was which one that was, and I
Yeah.
wonder if how quickly these covers are going to get. I mean, there's 8 of them, and so I wonder if they're all going to be just the same kind of concept. It
I bet
seems
they
like
are.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet there are some good variants though. I mean, you can always ask for them.
Do you? I wonder if the like last genie is going to be like, I wish this never happened, or something like that. I feel like that's going to be like the turnaround. Like everyone's going to, all 8 billion genies are going to be
Yeah.
used up besides the last one. And then someone's going to be like, I wish this never happened.
I I love it. I read the first issue. I think that was the last thing I read out of everything I got last week because it was,
Okay.
technically a back order.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
and
I guess
so
we haven't talked about it, have we?
yeah, and like I don't think you had like a high opinion of it, or like it
Hmm.
wasn't a bad. You just like you thought it could have been better.
No, I, my whole thing with that comic was that it felt like it just like rushed the story too quick, which I'm
Yeah,
like, you're doing 8 comics, what do you it
yeah.
feels like
So
this is going to be a lot of story, and I just
I don't know. For me, it kind of felt like the intro to like I don't know. Honestly, it kind of felt like the excitement behind the intro of like Age of Ultron.
the comic or
Just
the movie.
the movie.
Okay.
Like so in the terms of movies, just like when you have a movie scene that's just like right out of the gates and you're already in this intense like action, that's kind of how I felt about this issue, and it made me
Yeah.
just really excited about like there are 8 issues. The concept makes sense. There's 8 billion genies. um there's a genie count and like or a wish count and a human count or something like that, of
Mm,
like who's left or something like that.
yeah.
And it's just it's the whole concept of it
And how
caught
much
me.
time has
So
passed?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
So it seems exciting, and I really do like Charles Soule. He's done very well with his Star Wars stuff, and
mm,
I just I don't know, I'm a fan, and I've read some of his novels too. So
nice.
yeah.
Yeah, so that was it for me, buddy.
Oh,
So we only
that's it, huh?
yeah, that was all 6 of them, I believe.
Well. I guess I have to go now.
Yeah.
So pal,
Hey, pal.
there's a lot of Star Wars this week.
Heard.
Yeah, I had 4 issues. I'll show those next. I had 5 Marvel in total, and one of them's a new. It's a new Thor, uh, called Lightning and Lament.
Ooh.
Yeah, and I know it's just going to be another one of those like we have a new movie coming out as well, and this all kind of playfully is just fun to kind of tie it together in some
Right.
regard. And so it's and I can't say no to Thor.
Well, before Doctor Strange came out, they did a comic called like Nexus of Nightmares or something like
Yeah.
that. So
Yep.
this is the fact that what is the name of it again?
Lightning and Lament.
Yeah, Lightning and Lament makes it sound like so clearly that it's just
Love and Thunder.
Love and Thunder. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so like yeah, I'll see how it goes. I
I'm sure it'll be
may not hop
enjoyable.
I may not hop on board for all of it, but we'll see. Well, let's get into the Star Wars because let's just get them out of the way because there's a lot. One that came out is Obi-Wan issue 2.
Nice.
And if you've finished watching the series, this is also just another good timing on the Disney Marvel part of what's on the cover there.
Right. Yeah.
Han Solo and Chewbacca. I believe this is issue 3. This has been.
Is it really? Oh
Yeah.
yeah, you're right. Wow.
Yeah, and so this is Guggenheim, and Guggenheim had done Last Flight Out. And then Dr. Aphra. This is honestly like next to the Vader series. This is my favorite Star Wars series. I love Dr. Aphra. She's wonderful. Have you read them?
I've read a little bit of it, and I've enjoyed like a lot of what I've read.
Yeah,
But it's
great.
I feel like now that I'm thinking about it, I probably read like the first arc or two.
Yeah.
Back from 2015 is when I want to
Yeah.
say they started. So, no, but I mean, I know her from just I think crossing over into the main line. She was
She has, and War of the Bounty Hunters. She was in a few other issues that weren't her own. So
you know what? I'm remembering now. I did read it because I remember her, and I just remember her talking with Vader, and it being a very like from her perspective. So it was it was probably her comic and not Vader's. But I think honestly, I think she's one of the best. Like I think it's the most standouty original character in kind of that came out of that era, really.
Yeah. And then lastly, it's the new Darth Vader. I always get 2 covers.
Nice.
So these are both variants. So this one here is the Pride Month variant, and then this is just the what is it? The Choose Your Destiny Darth Vader cover.
Nice.
So
that's funny. Choose your own destiny.
Yeah.
Choose your own force.
Yeah, so I got that, and then I had one other image that you didn't have, but it's my favorite Image comic right now. I think we all know it's The Righteous Thirst for Vengeance.
That's right.
So this one,
this new arc, right? Second in an arc, something like that.
No, this is. I think these are 6-issue arcs. So
okay.
This is the only issue, or no, they're 5-issue. So this is like episode 4 of the second arc. So
what number is it?
Number 9.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it was. I thought it was like number 6 or something like that. Jesus Christ!
Oh yeah, no, it's coming along. Then trying to explore the DC world, and back when we first talked about it, I just went ahead and picked a few things. And a couple weeks ago, I got that DC versus Vampires, and it was Hunters, and it was one about Bruce Wayne's son as Robin, and how he was more of like kind of like a Bane, or not a Bane, a Blade type of vampire. Right. Anyways, so the new one I got was Killers, and it has Harley Quinn on the cover.
Nice.
So I don't know. They're just one shots. They're tied into a whole other series. I don't know if I'll ever get to it. We'll see. And then from what I understand, this might be the last issue of Berserker, but it's issue 9.
Wow.
So
it feels like it's been going for forever.
Yeah, I've been saving the previous 2 issues because I would rather read this more in a sequence. Like I'd rather binge read it than read each one and wait, because there's so much that goes into these ones. And I mean, you got the name of Keanu Reeves attached to it, and so like he obviously comes with some influence in how the story is being told. And so and then one other one I got is from Scout Comics, and I remember we talked about this a while back.
Did we?
But it's I think we did.
Oh.
But it's Agent of W.O.R.L.D.E.
Yeah, what is this about? I saw that and it looked very interesting to me. I mean, I guess if we talked about it, refresh me memory, lad.
Refreshing. Let me see here. So Agent of W.O.R.L.D.E. This is a great description. It is. Sorry. So I think. No. Okay. So
we did it.
horny robots, super
Oh my.
evolved orangutan bosses, joyriders from the 26th century. My
Oh,
wife's like
that's
trying to like sneak in.
nice. That's a
um,
heck of a description so far.
that's yeah. Nothing phases Philip Bank or Philip Blank, top agent for the sci-fi spy organization known as W.O.R.L.D.E. W-O-R-L-D-E.
Yeah.
But lately, Philip's been wondering if there isn't more to life than saving the world through creative violence. What is Philip hiding from World, and how far will he go to keep it hidden? The most beautifully bizarre book of the year is here.
Hmm.
Yeah,
That sounds pretty sweet.
and so this is written by Dennis Camp. Artist is Filia Bratukin, and the cover artist is Jason W.O.R.L.D.E. There's another name
Nice.
that's on the cover of the issue, Othman Allahu,
Now, did
but
you
it's not on here. But yeah,
request this or did
I did.
you?
Yeah, I
Okay,
did. I saw Scout Comics post about it on Instagram back when they like announced the release date for it, and I was like, oh, like that. That looks fun, and I don't know.
yeah,
I don't know. I like Scout. Not everything that I've gotten has been like the greatest, but
sure,
they take a lot of risks and they're very cutting edge.
yeah,
So
100%. Yeah, I got that. Remember that comic Rad Wraith? Was that from them?
yeah,
I'm pretty
Rad
sure.
Wraith, yeah,
I was just wondering if the second one of that ever came out. I'm gonna
yeah,
look into that. But so what we're gonna talk about two comics together this week.
yeah.
Which one do you want to talk about first?
Let's see. Let's do Odin. Let's do Beware the Eye of Odin.
Alrighty. Do you want to kind of give? Oh, I guess I missed that. It was in shops July 20th, the second copy. So that was last week, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, what? When was
Well,
it in shops?
July 20th. So that would have
Yeah.
been last week. Um,
Let's see here.
yeah, that was last week because it's the 29th.
Okay, Beware the
It
Eye
wouldn't
of
have been
Odin.
Wednesday. I guess it was out. I don't know. Um,
Who
anyway,
knows?
so we're talking about Odin.
Beware the Eye of Odin. So yeah, this is Image Comics, written by Doug Wagner. Artist is Tim Odland, and the colorist is Michelle Madsen. And again, another thing that Leave Comic Geeks often does is doesn't put the other person. So there is also Dukeshire.
Okay. Dukeshire. Oh yeah, I see it down there at the bottom.
Yeah.
Dukeshire
So
did the lettering.
yeah, I wasn't, I'm not familiar with. Uh, I mean, I think we discussed that Doug Wagner he had done vinyl, I think,
Yeah, and plastic.
and plastic, yeah,
Yeah.
and so I don't remember. Yeah, I don't have anything of his, but the what grabbed me about it was that this is obviously like a play on Norse tale,
Mm.
which I'm a fan of because obviously I like Thor.
Yeah. I'm a fan of Norse mythology as well.
Yeah,
I um I'm trying to think of like something good to say about this comic, which should probably tell you how I feel about this comic.
yeah,
Um but I I just thought it was like super scattershotted,
uh,
like uh I'm like really trying to rack my brain for something that I enjoyed.
yeah,
Um, obviously the art is really good. It's enjoyable. Um, but and I think that the creature designs and the character designs are pretty cool.
yeah.
But I think the characters are so two-dimensional.
Do you know what it reminded me of?
Hmm.
I don't know like if you would remember this or not, but because like if you like grew up if you grew up in like Christianity, you probably knew the Odyssey, like the Tales of Odyssey, and it
Yeah.
was
Well,
like
I didn't
yeah.
know that.
So like I last time I watched it was um I think I was still with YWAM, but anyway, the art for that show and the books and everything that came out for it, like that's what I saw in this comic was some art that comes with some
some baggage for you.
some baggage for me.
Do you think that well, what did you think of the comic?
I think it's an interesting concept.
Yeah.
But I'm also like, I wasn't really looking for the bad luck prince.
Mm.
And
He just reminded me of Anakin Skywalker.
yeah, well,
Like
yeah,
the bad aspects of Anakin Skywalker, of just like a man who like just like blows his top at the drop of a hat.
yeah.
Um
No, there's that, and I don't know, just something real piney about him, and
yeah.
I
I
don't know. I
think
was, and then also just I don't know. I don't like the supporting characters that much either, to be honest.
yeah, they don't really have that much charm to them. So I guess we really don't have to talk about this comic not much more, because we'll just be talking about how much we're disappointed with it. But I was really on the fence with plastic or vinyl. I haven't read plastic,
Yeah.
but I believe that for plastic and vinyl, I think he has the same artist, the
Yeah.
writer. Yeah, and I really love his art, and I think
Okay.
that gave me a lot of like, but I didn't really enjoy the story, and I felt like it didn't really like it didn't flow very coherently, and
Yeah.
like this doesn't really either. And I'm not as much of a fan of with the art as like I am for plastic and vinyl.
Yeah.
So I think, yeah, it was just I'm bummed, because it's just, you don't want to not like a writer, you know,
Yeah.
but it is going to be one of those things now where, regardless of like how good the art is, or like the concept, or like whatever, there's going to be a thing in the back of my head that's just like, this guy doesn't do it for me. And that's
Yeah.
okay, because apparently he does. He does do it for other people. He's continually like, he's gotten work through different publishing, so like it's clearly people enjoy his work. It just wasn't for me.
Yeah. Yeah. So I might. Yeah. I don't know. I
I
I would
mean,
like I would like to be convinced. I would like to hear what
mm,
somebody else has to say that like enjoyed it. Because I mean, there's times too when you and I like don't like a comic, and I'll go read the reviews of it, and people loved it.
yeah.
Trying to think of one that
Well,
was like
sure.
recent,
I
but
wonder if
yeah,
there's
but
ever been a comic. I'm sure there has been, but I've never heard of a comic that's been like just so underperformed that they just stopped doing it in the middle of it. I guess
yeah.
that's probably not how comics work. You probably have a deal with the publisher regardless. But
Uh, no, I'm sure on like the Marvel and the DC level, if they see something isn't gonna finish well,
end it early.
they might end it early.
Yeah.
Um,
That's probably a little bit different, because most
yeah,
people probably come with like if it's a limited series that's only like 5 or 6, I'm sure they would just let them finish it out. Then that's mostly what like these small indie people put out. So it's
yeah,
probably pretty common to just be like, fuck it, just we'll make less prints of the last, we'll just do
yeah,
less prints of the last couple issues or whatever it is. But it's a
yeah.
bum, because like you said, I really enjoyed the concept. We're both fans of Norse
Oh,
mythology, but
um, that DC Gotham PD or whatever I was reading for a bit. That's an example
of
of what we're talking about. Like when
oh,
they
okay.
just like they were just like, it doesn't pencil out anymore. So like
Mm,
we're gonna pull the plug. And so then because I think like because Ed Brubaker was like had done a lot of it, and then he pulled out, as well as like I think the artist,
mhm.
because Brubaker and the other guy were like exchanging duties on writing the issues.
Yeah,
And then the other guy just had to like finish it out as much as he could, but it just like it was one that never finished, and then found a little more fame once like the trade paperbacks started coming out.
right.
So
Well, it's a bummer, man, because you hate to see like a comic just, and like I was thinking about this when I was getting ready for today. I was like gathering up all my comics and whatnot, and I was organizing them a bit, and I would be like, man, I would really love every one of these comics, like I do with
mhm.
like that Texas Blood, or like just a lot of that stuff. That's the things that I like really look forward to.
Yeah,
Um, And I mean, there is a part of me that's glad because I can't afford to like buy like every ongoing miniseries or like, you know what I mean? Like every miniseries or like that comes out and all of them to completion. But it's still like I would love, it's not about the money, it's about the enjoyment of reading comics. And it's always a bummer, especially we haven't had this in a while, but there's been like times where it's just like a couple weeks in a row you're just reading duds. But
Yeah.
I guess I'm really looking for like a good story that I can just jump onto and I get excited every week about it. And
Yeah.
I feel like I read so many stuff and there's only like 2 or 3 that I'm like really jazzed about, you know?
Yeah. Well, and
And
that's yeah.
I'm sure that's typical for a lot of comic readers, but yeah, it's kind of just how I feel.
It kind of comes with the territory of being a comic book collector.
Right.
You're not
Yeah.
gonna love everything that you get, and you get to decide with what the stuff that you do get, and but let's get on to one I know that we both enjoyed.
Let's do it.
You wanna bring it up?
Yeah, because I have a different
I'd have
cover
to
than
pull
you
my
do, right?
yeah, I have to pull mine down a little bit for everybody to see. That cover is wonderful,
I know. I'm
but
very
like
happy with it.
both of them tell a story
Yeah,
when
you're
you put
not
them
wrong.
together. Yeah,
What's that guy's
this
name? Al?
I think so. Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, silver coin. Let's do this. I'm gonna move this here, and then let's move this down.
Wow. Look at that.
Look at this organization. Look
Um,
at that. Who needs the digital age when you could
do you
just
want to
move
give us
things yourself?
the outline of the story? I don't even think we really talked about the premise of the Beware the Eye of Odin really at all because
We
we were
didn't.
just we were just so unimpressed.
I guess I apologize to anybody who is interested in that one.
It was
We can
so
talk about it more later if you'd like, but
a cursed prince finds like the Eye of Odin from a frost giant that he kills, and he just knows instinctively that he has to return it within a month or he'll die, and he only
yeah,
knows that because he says he has that feeling. So and then later on he talks about it about like it's gospel. He's like, you wouldn't understand, you don't know how this orb works. And
yeah,
anyways, yeah, and then so that's the premise is he has to return the Eye of Odin to the frost giants
yeah.
before they kill him, and I'm sure he does.
The first
Anyways,
the first page was promising. I'll give it that.
that was very promising, and then
Yeah,
everything went downhill from there once the
yeah,
characters started being characters.
yeah,
um but yeah, you want to give the intro for this one?
yeah. So silver coin. So this is what they say. So in 1978, a firefighter finds. Wait, that's not the right one, is it?
Oh no.
It says 11. Oh no, it is. A firefighter finds a strange silver coin in the charred ruins of a nightclub. Oh, okay, this is from that issue of the Bad Cop.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So he quickly learns exactly what he can use it for. What happens when a dark mind harasses the coin power and unleashes it to the least expected. So what?
What's
Okay,
happening right now?
I'm on the page for number 11, and that doesn't sound like what
Yeah,
it's at
seems
all.
like a different one.
So let's
You could just describe it.
I was just wondering if the guy who left. Okay, so the silver coin, it opens up in a diner. This issue, coin 11 or coin 11,
Coin 11.
issue 11. It's called the diner, and it opens up in the diner, and it's the cook who's on the cover of mine, um, and the lady who like runs the joint, and then like another gal that she's hired to also serve tables. And they're looking across the street at a Wham Burger, which shares the golden arches but upside down.
Yeah, I love
And
that. A good
I love that. I just like it's the Wham Burger, and like this is what they're also like griping or like whining about.
yeah.
Is like this place gets all the business, and the lady who owns the place is like, Earl Jones came down and sat here for 2 hours and just had a cup of coffee and didn't spend a dime more. Like that's
Yeah.
the type of patrons that she gets. And so, anyways, this one gentleman who's a patron of the diner, obviously not a regular, leaves a tip, and within the tip is the silver coin.
Mm-hmm.
And so the owner, this lady, who's she's a classic like diner lady, right?
Right.
Like she's been doing it for years. She probably like started working there when she was in high school, and now she's the owner. Um, anywho, she is about to throw the coin away, and then the the other gal is just like, maybe it's your lucky coin, make a wish. And she's like, all right. So she makes the wish that everybody would come to the diner tomorrow and be hungry.
Yeah.
And
boy, are they hungry.
oh boy, they're a hungry bunch.
So yeah, just the next day she shows up and it's packed with people, and I mean, it's a horror comic, so we can just say without spoiling that hunger ensues and horror
Yeah.
ensues.
Yeah.
But dude, I will say that this comic for me, for some reason, was like I forget what those charts are called, but it was like started really high, dipped
Like
suddenly
a
for
sine
me.
wave.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and like dipped for me really low for some reason. I can't really tell you, and then like
Yeah.
shot back up really high.
Yeah.
And
Well,
yeah,
that's what I
go ahead.
like about anthology series, though, is that like, I mean, this is who's the main guy behind it? Walsh, like
Yeah,
Michael Walsh.
Michael
He
Walsh.
acts as
Yeah,
he's the artist,
Mitchell
letter, and
Walsh,
cover. Is it
right?
Mitch? I know it's Michael.
Sorry.
Michael.
Yeah, you're right. Sorry.
But yeah, like he has a different writer in which he's doing the art and lettering for. And
Hmm.
so he just asks, all of his comic book pals, hey, why don't you write a story, a horror story, a little short anthology? You got this coin, just write a scary story with this coin. And then he
Right.
does all the art and the lettering. And it's brilliant. Like I love the whole concept of the series. No, I have not liked. I mean, there's been 11 issues. Would you say that you've liked 6 of them?
Oh my god, I would say that I've liked at least 10 of them. I
Yes, there's only one. There's only one where it dipped for you.
like honestly, like not really, but
Yeah,
like there's I think in the middle of the last arc was probably there was some like duds for me, but I mean, including this, as issue 11, like
yeah.
genuinely, I haven't been disappointed with
Well,
like at least 8 out of the first 10, and like this is great. I loved it. So
yeah.
um,
Um,
this
I'm trying to
this
think,
series
but
continues to deliver for
it does
sure.
deliver. But I think from the first arc, which our boy Jeff wrote in issue 4, from what
Hmm.
I remember back, yeah, it's got a 79 on Comic Geeks, but I think it has the lowest rating for all of them, if I'm not
This
mistaken.
current one or the Jeff Lemire one?
No, the Jeff one, but like that's
Okay.
just like the first. Let's see.
Well, that's an interesting one because that's the one that's set in the future, right?
Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah, I liked it too. It's one of those ones where, like, I think it might have spoiled the coin for me to some degree because I'll know that the coin is always there. Like, because if
Yeah,
it makes it into the future, then at least like in the modern day, it's not going to be going anywhere. But I also
yeah,
don't think that like the coin is going to like uh anything's going to happen to it. I will
yeah.
say, I think it's really I was really exciting. What was that about?
Oh, I just looked at the ratings for the first 5 issues. The first 3 are in the 90s. Issue 4 is the 79, and then issue 5 has 100.
Woo! Yeah, I mean, issue number 5 is fantastic.
Yeah,
Um, I will say that I I'm excited that there seems to be the beginnings of like an overarching arc in this, or an overarching story,
yeah,
because like you said, this has been an anthology series thus far, and only issues 5 and 10 really have any sort of continuity,
right.
because they um had the same, I guess he's like a pilgrim priest or something like that, who's
Yeah,
associated with, he's either like the spiritual ring or like he is something like that.
yeah.
um but he's terrifying. But yeah, man, issue 5 is so good now that I'm just
Issue
sitting here
5
thinking
is so
about it.
good. It's the only one that has 100 on according to these ratings. All the rest of them, so there's only 2 issues
Hmm.
that are not rated in the 90s, and that's issue 4 and issue 9.
I can't remember
Those
what
are
issue 9 was about.
issue 9 is the one that I referenced earlier about the bad cop.
Okay.
Yeah, the crooked cop in the Bronx.
Yeah, I don't know if I
Yeah.
remember that one.
And he set that fire, and like that's where I think that like
uh
the guy that left it as a tip, I think he might have been in issue 9. He might have been the firefighter that found it.
Oh, you know what? You might be right.
And
I
that's
need to go
why I
back and
think
look at that.
that's why that might be the intro,
Okay.
or
I
the
really
pub stop.
I really like the I don't kind of want to I don't want to spoil the potential arc, you know?
Yeah,
Um but I will say that I really like the concept that they're laying down. I
yeah,
think that that's I think that that's one of the best concepts that you can do with something like this.
yeah,
Um yeah, I think we'll talk about it more off mic, or we'll probably, when this arc is finished, we'll do a review of the whole
yeah.
thing and chat about
No,
it. But
we should do that. Yeah,
yeah. Um I can't think of anything else that I would want to say about it other than, like, if you're I mean, we say this all the time. You should be reading The Silver Coin. Just period. You should.
yeah.
It's just so good.
If you're not reading it, I think that the first 5 are out on trade paperback already. Actually, they must be.
Yeah, they would have to be. I actually
And
really would like that, I think.
yeah,
So I might have to get myself that.
would you get it digitally, or would you get it?
No. Because
No,
I
you
own a
get that.
yeah, I would rather get the trade paperback for
So
sure.
I always just wonder about the ones that I like. If I want to reread them when I have the time to read, like I'd rather have like the digital. But I mostly do that with like, um,
Yeah, but I feel like a lot of most of the times those end up just on Comixology anyways, if you just let
yeah,
some time pass. Um, I rarely buy
patience.
stuff on Comixology just because I'd much rather just have physicals. I did it for when I read Book of the Bounty Hunters,
Yeah,
but that was it. Well, hey man, you want to just do? I want to just say one more comic. I just
yeah,
want to
go
talk
for it.
about. Do you want to?
Yeah,
All right. Um, it is. I've talked about this. I think probably the entire time we've been doing this podcast because I've been reading it since before then. But Maestro. This is the arc is called World War M. This is the third arc in the Maestro like storyline, but this is issue 4 of that of volume 3. And
yeah,
I we talked about this cover, so this is kind of part of the reason why I wanted to bring it up, because this issue, he is the Maestro, who is an older version of the Hulk, spends most of his time fighting this creature, and apparently
yeah.
this creature appeared in a Fantastic Four comic. I'm
Huh.
trying to see if I can find its name off the top of and but apparently how they beat it there was they blew Giganto, or Giganto, Giganto,
Okay.
Giganto.
Yeah, that
But
sounds right.
apparently they defeated him by putting a nuclear bomb inside of him and blowing him up. But
Oh my!
that not in this issue, but
In the
in
Fantastic Four.
yeah. But it was great to just see the Hulk fight a giant, like, Godzilla type monster,
Yeah,
Um, and Namor is obviously the one kind of controlling that, and there's a whole story going on there, and I don't really want to get into it because it's complicated and involves actually going back to like the first couple volumes. But I will say it feels like somebody from it the comic definitely feels like it's from the 80s or the 90s, which is the 90s, I believe, is when this is David Peters, or Peter David, I believe, is
yeah,
the name of the writer. um Let me just make sure on that. Yeah, Peter David and German Peralta. Those two have been working together like since the 90s, I believe, maybe even the 80s. But this definitely feels like somebody from that time trying to write a modern, edgy comic. Because
yeah,
from like issue 1, I've had this like back and forth relationship with this comic because it tries to be like so edgy and like does things that are a little like, it just is fine with like killing a lot of like children and like women and stuff like that, and in like really unforgiving ways. And not that I'm against those things, but it needs to kind of fit the story well. And I just feel like the other characters around that aren't written in a world where that happens, because they seem to be written in a 90s or an 80s world where it's like a lot of the dialogue is very of that time, but then like the writer feels like, oh, to make it modern, let's just do a ruthless death,
yeah,
um, or like just say like a bunch of stuff that's really crass. And um, yeah, that's been my only complaint with the comic. I love the stories that it's trying to tell. I love the
yeah.
art a lot, But man, I just wish like the guy wasn't trying to be like an edgelord. Is kind of what it feels like.
Yeah.
But yeah, but if you like the Hulk, I think it's funny that I read the Hulk and you read Thor.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the only one I got to talk about.
That's it, huh?
Yeah. How about
That's
you?
all you got. Well,
Anything you want to mention?
did you read the Illusion Witch? Did you get that?
I did, but I didn't get to it.
Mm,
Did you?
I did.
How was
I'm
it?
I kind of want to see how issue 2 goes,
Yeah. Should I
but
read it? It's not like high on my priority list of things to read, if I'm being completely honest.
okay, yeah, I got to make a declaration. I would put this in like that drawer that you save comics for. Like, I'll get to it.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I
Um,
figured. That's where I was gonna probably put it anyways. So
because I don't know. I haven't even seen what anybody's thought about it. Okay, I mean, only 10 people have done it. It has a 3 average rating for 60% on League of Comic Geeks.
yeah,
So that's only 10 people.
yeah,
Well, other ones I look at have at least 100 or so.
yeah.
So this is
And who is that
yeah,
by? Oh, Behemoth. So I mean,
it's
that's kind of like that's understandable that somebody would have something that's yeah.
yeah. So I'll definitely see how issue 2 goes, but I might I don't know. I might wait and see if it's something that comes out on Comixology eventually, or I don't
Yeah.
even yeah. But
So
other than that though, man, like Bloodstained Teeth, I'm still enjoying it. This issue kind of felt like what uh I guess what episode 4 of Obi-Wan felt like. It's
okay.
like, okay, yeah, we did this already, like
Mm-hmm.
in the same series. And so this is issue 3, and it's with this one I would have expected like a little bit more of a rise in like the body count for, all the sips he's trying to go exterminate, because
Mm-hmm.
okay, so do you remember the premise of this? It's
No, not really.
there's like the vampires who are like direct descendants of like the Lion of Dracula.
Okay. Yeah.
Um and then anybody else is called a sip. So they were like they don't have like that bloodline. They were just like turned into a vampire by a vampire. And so they're
Right.
called sips. And so the main character was making money off of turning humans into sips, like that would
Mm,
pay. And the leader, the head honcho of all the vampires, like found out about it. Now he has to go and kill them all in 30 days. Something like that. I don't know if it was 30 days. I think it might be,
sure.
but yeah, he has like a limited amount of time, we'll put it that way, to go kill all the people that he's been converting into sips for decades, it says. And this issue is just, again, like, yes, it was exciting and fun, but it was also just like, here's just one of these sips. We're just going after one of these. And it's just like there's nothing in the boxes or anything saying like this is how many he's gone through, or it's like I want to see like a montage scene of him like going and doing a bunch of them,
Mm,
kind of like
yeah.
a more faster pace. And it just, I don't know, this issue just felt kind of slow and repetitive. They just took the same arc as the last issue, but changed the character and setting and description.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, like, so like I did like it, but it wasn't my favorite.
Sure. And
Um,
you're gonna stay on it?
I mean, this is issue 3. I might as well just stick with it at this point.
Yeah.
I
Right.
liked issues 1 and 2 enough. And then, so I guess lastly, I have, well, we already talked about 8 Billion Genies, and I like where it's going. But lastly, I have the last issue of Crimson Rain. So
Okay.
this is just
Yeah.
one of those, those 5 issue connective story arcs.
Right. Yeah.
Um, I'll put this one right over my shoulder, just like the other one, so people can see it.
There you go.
um, I like where it ended, but it was also just kind of like, oh, you got me, like, because it was just another premise for setting up like the next big
Mm,
arc of the comics, which is
Marvel.
yeah. And I mean, yeah, I did like it, and I like where it's going, but I don't want to be left in the mystery of the continuity, like what's it
Yeah.
going to be. So
Yeah, you
yeah,
should just like finish a stuff like that. I understand like sequels and whatever, but like you should just, be able to close a door.
But this also, again, just the bigger companies just have timing on their side, and just so many different media outlets. And so something else that came out in the last week was Star Wars Shadow of the Sith. It's a new novel, and
Okay.
it's Luke Skywalker and Lando Calrissian are the main characters, or at least they're on the cover. And they're, but like, there's only been, I think I'm on chapter 8,
Mm.
and Luke and Lando have had their appearances, but nothing like huge has happened, and every chapter has been from a different view of a different character. And one of the characters that's in the book is one of my favorite characters from the comics, and it's just, I don't want to say who it is because I don't want to spoil it, because I was
Sure.
like, for me, I was like, I didn't know he's going to be in this. This is great.
Nice.
So it is
That's
a he.
fun.
You got that, but
Yeah.
but yeah. So it's just like, it's been good so far. It's supposed to kind of be what Obi-Wan Kenobi was for like episodes 3 and 4, just kind of like that middle bridge way. So
Mm.
like this is supposed to be like halfway through the time between Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens.
Okay, that makes
So-
sense. Well, that sounds pretty exciting.
So like, and so I just bring up their timing because it's like, they're obviously, there's a season for writing and time to get things done, and then there's the next season.
Oh my god.
And Marvel's already, kicking it, or Marvel and Star Wars are, they do well with it because they've been doing it for years. So
Could you imagine what that whiteboard must look like, of all the like the connecting, like this is coming out then, and this TV show is coming out here, so this comic is coming out here, and this like trying to make sure all that shit goes in harmony. It must be a fucking nightmare. But I'm sure, I mean, it's a well-oiled machine,
Oh yeah. No,
So-
it honestly, like I wish I took more writing classes, to be honest with you.
Me too, buddy. And
Me too.
Yeah. Well, how do you feel about landing this bird?
I guess we're ready to land this bird. This was a shorter episode. I mean, we had a lot of polls to get through, but then also just a kind of a dud week in terms of the quality, at least to like our standard of what we like in comics.
Yeah, I mean, for the
some
most
degree.
part. I mean, outside the silver coin, obviously, but
yeah,
and
So-
I haven't gotten to read Dark Beach yet, number 3, which I'm sure is going to be good. I haven't gotten into Slumber number 4 yet, which I know is going to be good. But
yeah,
I just wanted to read those because I knew we were going to be talking about them. But
yeah. I'm
anyways,
curious
friends,
curious what
are
my,
you curious about?
Oh, good. It's a lighter week next week. It's got four issues
wow.
next week. So
Well, then why don't we try to read a bunch of these comics that we got this week, and then we can try to discuss them next week.
Yeah.
Since quick pool recap.
Quick pool recap.
Quick pool.
Say that real fast.
No.
All
right.
Yeah. Let me land this bird. Or are you landing this bird?
I'm landing the bird.
You land the bird.
You rose the bird. I shall land the bird. You fluted the bird. Anywho, I'm running out of steam here, which is the birds coming in like that. But friends, thank you so much for hanging out with us and enjoying this time together as we get to chat about the comics that we pulled and just the ones we've been reading. It's a lot of fun. Make sure that you're following us on all the social media platforms. We are on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, everything. Just as the PullBoxPals. We were lucky to get them all. So and you can follow Mark at Mad Nerdy on Instagram. You can follow me at Stoned and Nerdy on Instagram and Twitter. And I'm also on Twitch from time to time. That's Stoned and Nerdy 89, but I don't really go on that much. And when I do, it's really bad quality because my computer can't handle screen capturing very well. Anywho's, thank you again to the IWEP Network for having us and allowing us to use this channel or this platform. And I know that I believe that Tornado Tags is out tomorrow live on their Facebook page. So make sure you go over there. Like I said, we have that website linked in our link tree. So go there, check out the rest of the awesome podcasts. Make sure you give them a like. Make sure you give us a like, and let's be friends. Let's be pals. How does that sound?
Why can't we be friends?
Why can't we be friends? Oh,
We could be
before
friends.
we're gonna get sued for copyright. So,
Oh yeah.
all right. Well, thank you, friends, for hanging out. We will see you next week. Same pool time, same pool place.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.